My name is Tracey Rayner. I work for Suffolk County Music Service and I'm their events manager. And as part of being their events manager, I get to manage this amazing project, part of which you see behind me, which is a huge celebration of the first year of learning of some primary school instrumentalists who've been learning as a whole class an instrument with a teacher for the whole year. And this is a celebration of everything they've achieved over the year. So it's one of my pleasures that I get to manage this.
Our anchors weighed, our sails unfurled. We're bound to cross. We're bound to cross.
I think what drew us to getting involved in the project was we received an email just before Christmas from the East Anglian Traditional Music Trust actually inviting us to a seminar of Vaughan Williams 150 at the Museum of East Anglian Life. And as part of that there was a string project, which we've also done, but there was also the hint of a primary vocal project in it as well. And vocal's my thing. I love to sing, and I was a singing teacher before this, and I love to work with large groups of children. So things started connecting, and I dropped the lovely people at the East Anglian Traditional Music Trust an email and said, what can we do together? I met with Nikki in January actually. When you get three creatives in a room, it's always sparky, so basically the three of us didn't stop talking. But we were batting ideas backwards and forwards as how we could reach the maximum amount of children with this amazing project. This kind of music absolutely mustn't get lost, it's our heritage. And so I said, well look, I teach a song on the day to 2,500 children at the end of the summer term. Why can't it be your song? And so we started the long process of finding the best song that we could that was collected by Vaughan Williams in our area.
Sails unfurled, we're bound to cross the watery world. Don't you see, we're homeward bound. Don't you see, we're homeward bound.
Why this song? Oh, that's a good question. Well, there were several things it had to be. It had to be collected by Vaughan Williams. It had to be collected in East Anglia. And it had to be something suitable for children. Not only that, things that children could engage with. And we batted lots of ideas backwards and forwards. So I'd find one and Nikki would say, oh, that's great, but it's not collected in East Anglia. And she'd find one and I'd say, verse 16's really dodgy, let's not do that one. So eventually we found this lovely sea shanty, which I thought our kids are going to love singing that and we can absolutely make something of this. And so that's where it came from. How have the kids responded? I think it's depended largely on the venue that we've worked in, because we've worked in 5 different venues over the last week. It depends on the size of the group you're working with. So we've worked with some small groups of 120, and then this group, which is huge, it's 350. And the dynamics within that are always very different. But what has come out from all of it is that they absolutely latch into the chorus, which is what I thought they'd do. The challenges they've had is there's some archaic language, and so we've spent some time in the workshops unpacking the language, and you might see that I use actions for trying to help them remember the language that we're using. So we do weigh anchor and we do unfurl the sails, and when they see that, it triggers them. They say, oh yeah, that's what we're supposed to be singing. I work differently with a big group than I do with a little group, and I read the energy in the room. So if they're flagging, I'll stop and I'll come back to it later on. But it's been an overwhelmingly positive response, and I really do hope that they go and engage further with this. There's been a lot of interest from the teachers, some of whom have emailed me and said, tell me more. I think it's really important to engage with our traditional music from East Anglia. I'm a Suffolk girl, I'm born and bred, my family comes from Laxfield and that area. And I heard tales from my dad of the old boys sitting around in the Low House at Laxfield and singing and having their hot pokers that they would dip in their beer. And that kind of heritage is dying out, and it's really sad. We don't know what we don't know, and so it's up to people like us to try and bring it back into popular culture so that it doesn't get lost.
This song was collected by a classical composer, actually, called Vaughan Williams, and he heard it in Kings Lynn, sung to him, surprisingly, by a woman. But it's a sea shanty. It's a sea shanty that would have been sung as people went to sea in ships as a work song. It's got a really good rhythm to it. And he liked it so much he wrote it down. He took his manuscript paper and he notated down what the melody was. And then he published it basically so that people could see and learn and sing this song. So it's called Homeward Bound. It's about a sailor leaving which docks? Yeah, which one? And there's really, really old-fashioned language in it, like adieu instead of goodbye, and weighing the anchor and unfurling the sails. We thought it might be quite apt because we're a sort of seafaring nation, and this song comes from our area. So we're going to sing you Homeward Bound.
To the